Being labeled a nepotism baby is one of the greatest insults in entertainment these days. It's a term that surged in popularity, becoming one of the most searched terms in the world. Well, there are actually a host of rappers who this term may apply to, and today we are going to go over them. So let's start with Destroy Lonely, a rapper who has recently been in the news for other reasons. But Destroy Lonely is actually the son and namesake of a famous 2000s rapper, known for hits such as Bobby Wardell Sandy Manny III, Destroy Lonely, was born to Bobby Wardell Sandy Manny Jr., a rapper known as I-20, on July 30th of 2001. Just 6 months prior to this, Ludacris had dropped his album Word of Mouth. This featured major hits like Rollout, Area Codes, and biggest of all, Move B.
Move. Get out the way.
This song was 4.5 minutes of straight energy, featuring rappers Mystical and I-20. The song reached number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it Ludacris' first top 10 hit on the charts, and he couldn't have done it without I-20, who duetted the chorus with Ludacris before going into a 45-second verse at the end of the song. I-20 was actually signed to Ludacris' Disturbing the Peace record label, dropping music with them since 1999, and appearing on Ludacris' debut studio album, whose name I feel a bit uncomfortable saying. He continued dropping music with them for many years, before releasing his own debut album, Self-Explanatory, in 2004. This was dropped under the Disturbing the Peace record label, in a joint venture with Capitol Records. The album featured artists such as 2 Chainz, Ludacris, 3 6 Mafia, Bone Crusher, Juvenile, Chingy, and many more. The album peaked at number 42 on the Billboard 200 and number 5 on the top R&B/hip-hop albums. The album's biggest song, Fight It in the Club, actually ignited a beef between 2 of Atlanta's hottest rappers at the time, T.I. and Ludacris. In the music video, an actor with the word trap on his shirt is getting beat down. T.I. thought it said Trap Music, the name of his second album, so he responded when he got the chance to feature alongside Ludacris on Young Buck's song Stomp. Dissing Ludacris on a song that Ludacris was featured on, T.I. said, "Me getting beat down, that's Ludacris." 19 years later, in 2023, I-20's son Destroy Lonely dropped his debut album, If Looks Could Kill. It's interesting to see the parallels between careers, with both being signed to artist-run record labels, but one big difference between the two is their rapping styles. Here, Destroy Lonely speaks on his dad's signature rapping voice.
Your dad has one of the most distinct, illest voices in rap history.
Yeah, Pop's crazy, for sure.
His voice is so crazy.
His voice is that deep in real life, too.
Bro, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
I loved I-20, bro.
Although their styles are very different, Lone cites his dad as one of his main inspirations. He grew up freestyling as a result of his dad's rap career, which would ultimately culminate into his own music, which he began making in 2015 at the age of 14.
Would you attribute just being around your dad to your rap career, like you wanting to pursue that?
At first, I used to say I didn't, but like growing up and like thinking like how much that shit like really like was in my brain, hell yeah. Like it's pictures of me on the internet like when I was a kid like recording. I'm like in my dad's studio.
Right.
Like, so it's like shit like that.
He even remembers growing up around Ludacris, and although the two are not in communication these days, Ludacris definitely played a role in shifting Lone towards a lifestyle of wanting to be a rapper.
It was like times my pops get mad because like as a child like I wouldn't understand it. I'd be calling Ludacris. I'm like, nigga, they Ludacris. My pops is like, bro, it's like my best friend.
Right.
This is a theme we will continue to see with other rappers, but we will go over that later in the video. Lone has reached monumental success, more than his father ever did, with the aforementioned If Looks Could Kill album peaking at number 18 on the Billboard 200. Destroy Lonely is one of the biggest rappers of this new generation, currently sitting at nearly 4 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Do you think Lonely's dad played any role in his son's success, more than merely influencing him? So having one musically successful parent is crazy enough, but 2? That's unheard of. Lil Tracy is proof that it is possible though, with both his mother and father finding great fortune in the music industry. His father, while arguably the less famous of the two, was a member of one of the biggest alternative hip-hop groups of all time, and pioneers of the jazz rap sound, Diggable Planets. This group began in the early 90s and still tours to this day, more than 30 years after its formation. Jazz Ishmael Butler, also known as Lil Tracy, was born on October 3rd, 1995, to parents Cheryl Elizabeth Gamble and Ishmael Butler. The two split when Tracy was still very young, and he would spend time between the two households. His father Ishmael, with whom he shares his middle name, started to find musical success in 1992 when his group Diggable Planets released the single Rebirth of Slick, Cool Like That. This song charted on the Billboard and was received well by the critics. People loved this alternative blend of jazz and rap, coupled with philosophical lyrics. Following the success of this 1992 single, they released Reachin', a new refutation of time and space, a 1993 album under Capitol Records. This is still their biggest project to date, currently sitting at more than 150 million streams on Spotify. The group broke up in 1995 before reuniting 10 years later, announcing a tour and compilation album. In 2009, Ishmael embarked on a new musical journey, forming the group Shabazz Palaces with his neighbor Tendai Maraire. The group is known for their interesting live performances and are still active to this day, releasing a project in March of 2024. Lil Tracy's mom, Coco, was even more successful in her musical career as the lead vocalist for one of the most successful female R&B groups of all time, SWV. If you text your mom right now and ask her if she knows SWV, you are more than likely going to get a yes, because this group was everywhere. Their biggest song, Weak, has been awarded a platinum certification and is ranked at number 72 on Billboard's 100 Best Girl Group Songs of All Time. The group sold more than 30 million records worldwide, but Coco's success didn't stop just there. After SWV disbanded in 1997, she got to work on her own solo career. She worked with Will Smith on the song Men in Black, named after the movie it was featured in, with the song eventually winning a Grammy featuring her background vocals. She then released her first solo single, Sunshine, which was actually dedicated to Lil Tracy, who was very cutely featured in the music video, marking this as his musical debut at only 3 years old. This song was eventually released on the Hot Cocoa album, where Tracy was also featured on the intro track.
Mommy, hurry up, they're waiting. I'm coming, Jazz.
Roughly 14 years later, when Tracy was 17, he ran away from home in hopes of becoming a successful rapper of his own merits. He chose to be homeless and moved to Los Angeles without alerting his parents. Tracy went through a myriad of stage names, RIP Young Bra, but eventually settled on Lil Tracy and began to see real success with his music. Today, Tracy is a Billboard charting rapper, most known for his collaborations with the late Lil Peep, and one of my personal favorite rappers of all time. Another personal favorite for me is Rob Banks, whose dad is Shaggy, a 2-time Grammy Award-winning reggae artist, most known for his song, It Wasn't Me. Richard Burrell, also known as Rob Banks, was born on September 24th, 1994, to Carol Johnson and Orville Richard Burrell, otherwise known as Shaggy. Shaggy released his debut album, Pure Pleasure, in 1993, and followed this up with the original Doberman in 1994, which released only 2 months before Rob Banks was born. Shaggy wasn't the most present father, mostly due to his musical career, which kept him away from his son for extended periods of time. He found true success in 1995 with his project Boombastic, which featured the song Boombastic. The album was a hit, winning a Grammy Award for the Best Reggae Album. He dropped one more project before being dropped by Virgin in 1999. They felt he was unlikely to release another song as successful as 1995's Boombastic. He signed with MCA Records to release the album Hot Shot the following year. The album featured the smash hit singles It Wasn't Me and Angel, the former which sits at more than 1 billion streams on Spotify and has gone platinum in multiple countries. He dropped 5 more albums from 2002 to 2007, continuing his prolific career. At the same time, Rob Banks was growing up in Coral Springs, Florida, which is located within Broward County. This area is full of substances, firearms, and gangs, and Rob ended up surrounding himself with this lifestyle without the knowledge of his father. With the lifestyle, he found rap and began to rap on subjects surrounding these topics. He hid this from his father, Shaggy, but eventually garnered enough buzz where he had to come to his dad, who was not happy with Rob's lyrical content.
Let me ask you about your son. Is he a rapper? Is that correct?
Rob Banks.
He's been quite secretive about the fact that you're his father.
It was secretive because, well, that's because I didn't know about it.
Right, okay.
Yeah, he was trying to keep it from me. Because the content of the music is a little bit edgy, to say the least, you know.
Being from Broward County and making the type of music that he made, Rob's connection with XXXTentacion was inevitable. And in 2016, he joined X's group, Members Only. He was featured 3 times on the group's 2017 release, Members Only Volume 3, on the songs Butthole Girl, On That Bitch, and Invisible Clip, which are some of his biggest songs to this day. He has been prolific as of recent, appearing in the movie Shelter and Solitude, alongside Shobin Hogan in 2023.
We ain't gonna let you in if you buy some weed.
Something.
I'll buy a perk.
As well as a multitude of musical releases in 2024. So far this year, he's dropped 7 singles and 2 albums, showing a clear dedication to his craft, rivaling even that of his father's. While Rob never reached the commercial success which his father did, our next artist completely outshined his father's career. BabyTron was born James Edward Johnson IV on June 6, 2000, to his father, James Edward Johnson III. His father went by the stage name Sadistic.
We never talked about that before, though, that your dad's like a fucking Detroit rap legend.
Yeah.
Sadistic?
Yeah.
Sadistic was a rapper who toured with huge acts such as Insane Clown Posse, Eminem, Mystical, and more. Thanks to his success, he was invited to form a new band, Motown Rage, and joined as the lead vocalist. They released their debut album in 2005, and in 2007, they signed to Hatchet House, Insane Clown Posse's label. This continued Sadistic's connection with ICP, and BabyTron's childhood was spent around the clowns. Red Hot Detroit rapper BabyTron, holding down No Jumper with your boy. This kid grew up hanging at my house. Life is a trip. Violent J. BabyTron is a juggalo confirmed. That's something I bet you didn't know. Well, you want to know something else I bet you don't know? I bet you don't know that I run the best rap channel on YouTube, and I bet you aren't even subscribed, so fix that right now. From clowns to monsters, let's talk about Sematary and his dad's connection to Pokemon. So Sematary was born Zane Steckler on December 22nd, 2000. His father is Brian Steckler, a composer, songwriter, and producer who has worked on countless commercials, movies, and TV shows. His website boasts some very notable placements, including The Walking Dead, The Fosters, Storage Hunters, Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dance Moms, and most impressively in my opinion, Pokemon the first movie. Unfortunately though, he never made a penny off of this, nor did he receive the platinum plaque which the album the song appeared on received.
From my light research, your dad worked on the Pokemon movies?
All right, I'm going to clear this up once and for all. So he did one song on the Pokemon movie in 1999 when he was working at like a jingle writing house. They forfeited their royalties, I think, to like even get on that or something. So the one song he did on the Pokemon soundtrack before I was born, he's never made a cent from.
Did he get a plaque for it? Because
nope, nothing.
His accolades include award-winning feature-length documentaries and many TV series. He has experience as a major label songwriter, record producer, and mixer, and as a Clio-winning Super Bowl commercial creator. This love for music was passed down to his children, and Sematary started making music at only 11 years old. Quote, I was 11 years old on GarageBand. My dad's a music producer, so he kind of set me up with the software and shit, and said go nuts. So since I was 11, I've been messing around. His dad actually plays a role in his music to this day, and helped mix songs as recently as 2021 on Sematary's Screaming Forest project. This music gene was also passed to Sematary's younger brother, Nate, a musical artist who at one point actually had more monthly listeners than Sematary himself, under the artist name Nate Steckler. Let's end it with one of the most interesting ones, in my opinion, Twohollis. So Twohollis is a rapper who started to bubble up as of late, and he was recently announced as the opener for Ken Carson's Chaos Tour, which is a pretty big cosign. Similar to Lil Tracy, both of his parents actually play a big role in the music industry, with one being the member of an influential post-rock band, and the other a founder of a record label and creative collective. Hollis's parents split when he was young, but their interest in music left a lasting impact. His mother, Catherine Frazier, is a founder of Ausla alongside Skrillex. Their artists include Marshmello, Zed, Skrillex, and countless more. It's an EDM label, and you can definitely hear this influence in Twohollis' music. His father, John Herndon, was a member of the band Tortoise. Their eclectic style has left a great influence on the post-rock genre, and Tortoise have been consistently credited for the rise of the post-rock movement in the 1990s. Herndon was the group's drummer, who dropped 7 albums from 1994 to 2016. Hollis is a pretty unestablished artist, but I think his success is inevitable, given his recent surge in popularity, as well as obvious connections, which have already landed him a song on the new FIFA game, EAFC 24, with his song Poster Boy. Do you think that these rappers I've listed are Nepo Babies, or do they simply have the musical genes of their parents, with success being inevitable? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you didn't enjoy the video, well, that's the sad part. Peace.